Cynthia, are you selling it for me?
Sometime.
Do they want to do it?
No, they'd rather not see.
All right. Okay. Huh? Show must go on. And best way to call is reliableness. Okay.
Number 7, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, okay. What do you say, Gary? Sure. Okay. We are on the screen, so let's bring the Thursday, May 4th, Webster Town Board meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There comes Paul. Oh, yeah. Dolly, can you do roll call, please?
Supervisor Flaherty?
Here.
Councilman Abbott?
Here.
Councilwoman McCaldy? Here. Councilman Cahill?
Here.
Councilwoman Wynn? Here. Town Attorney Genesi?
Okay, whoever has the agendas out there, I'm going to take a little executive privilege and we're going to switch up the order or something. Before we do the open to the floor, each speaker to be allowed up for 5 minutes, I want to move item number 10, which is a potential resolution motion to take a pledge to register with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the DC as a climate smart community. And I want to move that to the front because what is, I don't know, what is that about, 10 words, right? 10 words on that resolution?
No, personally, I'd like to hear from you.
I understand. I just want to, did anybody, is anybody here for that resolution tonight? All right.
You know better.
What'd you call me again? Smooth Moon Flirt. Good.
No, heard through the grapevine.
Did anybody watch the workshop last week where Mary Harrington presented the 10-slide PowerPoint on becoming a registered climate smart community?
Read the whole document.
Now look at that. All those hands that were up and only one saw it.
Who knew about it?
Yeah.
Nobody knew about this either.
No mailers?
Oh,
No mailers.
That's famous last words,
No,
right?
no.
Anyway,
No community.
Mary did a PowerPoint presentation. It was a follow-up to May 12th last year. We had a presentation in 2022. And then on June 16th, 2022, we made a motion, a resolution to become registered as a climate smart community. And at that time, several of the board members, and I told several, it did not pass. There was more information needed. So we came back last week and did a PowerPoint presentation that Mary presented. And the board got some more information about benchmarking of other communities and what it meant to be a registered climate smart community, what it meant for potential grant opportunities for this town when we are faced with so many projects that we're doing. And I do invite all of you to watch that presentation. It's on our website, it's on social media platforms that we have. It was followed by a pretty good question and answer period by the board. And I think all the board members were pretty comfortable with registering as a climate smart community. Made a lot of sense. I don't think that we were totally sold on becoming a certified climate smart community because that's a lot heavier lift, but that's not what we're looking at. So I know that you got something from a resident that wanted to just read it.
Okay. This was sent by Steve Gaudioso of 1077 Everwell View. I want to express warm thanks and appreciation for the excellent presentation on the opportunity afforded to the town of Webster by adopting the CSC pledge. Kudos to Mary Harrington and several department heads who worked to put together a comprehensive, objective, fact-based document for consideration by the board. I look forward to the board's favorable vote on the resolution in the fourth meeting. And Steve was sorry that he could not attend.
Okay. And Mary, I think one of the things about that PowerPoint that really stuck out to me was the difference between registering with the New York State DEC versus becoming certified. Could you just, before we read this resolution and vote on it, summarize up the difference between the two?
Sure, so registering is just adopting the concept behind the program, which is exemplifying a lot of the things that the town is already doing with all of their capital projects and operations here in the town. Registering is tracking those efforts and having an initiative to complete those more readily than perhaps we're doing right now, but we are completing a lot of projects that have climate smart initiatives within them. So the registering is different than certifying, in that certifying is tracking, and then there's different levels of certification. There's bronze, silver, and gold.
And what is the commitment and cost in the town of registering with DEC as a climate smart mission?
Really, it's just giving us an opportunity to get more money for our citizens for these projects that we're already doing. So it's not costing us anything, but it's potentially bringing in more money.
No.
Supervisor, could I be heard for a second, please?
Sure can.
So, just speaking for myself, and obviously I'm not representing the entire board, there's a great deal of people here that have come to speak to number 10. And I just feel that, my personal opinion, it would be disrespectful to the people that have come here tonight to vote on this resolution before they're heard.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. I agree with you.
I'm not sure that was the intent.
I'm not saying it was the intent, I'm just saying I don't want to vote on something until I hear from the residents.
Okay.
But I do think that since many of them did not have the opportunity to see the workshop,
Yeah.
it's good that they got the
Yeah.
preamble before it pretty much sums it up.
I agree.
I agree. I agree with this. And based on all the clapping out there, I'm not going to get into how people didn't know about last week's workshop. It happens. Reality is, no. I'm going to send around, you still get a chance to talk. You get your 5 minutes, no doubt about that. But I want to make sure everybody in the room who's here for the climate smart community, I want to make sure we get your contact information. I want to send you a link to last week's presentation. You need to get educated on what we were discerning from last week. I've said it at this podium now 4 times. I hate the name of this program. Climate Smart is going to make one side of the aisle absolutely freak out that it's the worst thing in the world, and it's going to make the other side of the aisle think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they're not going to look at the details. So we're going to make sure that everybody gets educated. We have intelligent people in the room. I'm sure that they will take advantage of looking at the link to go see all the work that Mary did. It's 10 pages on a PowerPoint. It won't take a lot of time. And I'm going to guess that there was probably 15 minutes to 17 minutes of the Q&A thereafter. So, with that being said, I make a motion to table the pledge to register with the NYDEC as a climate smart community.
Second.
Supervisor Serry?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Now, some people said that they were new to this. Does everybody understand what tabling means?
Take it off the table.
So we're not voting on this
That's right, we're
tonight.
not voting on it.
Right.
The
Second.
next time that this would potentially come up on the agenda is, I think the next board meeting is it June? No, May 18th. May 18th. I would hope that everybody here that clapped and all that will take me up on that offer to look at that link. Take 20 minutes of your time to get educated on this. If you still feel the need to talk tonight without that education, that's your prerogative. But I think you might want to think about looking at that first and then coming back here on the 18th and then talking. Because I know myself, I put my foot in my mouth a lot, and I get up and I say things on a podium before I get educated, and I look back 2 weeks later and say, boy, do I feel stupid for doing that. And I wouldn't want any of the smart people that are sitting in that audience tonight who haven't seen that presentation to make that same mistake. So,
I just want to take this step further. And then certainly if there are any questions, if this should go on the agenda in 2 weeks, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us with your questions ahead of time.
no doubt. Now,
It's presentation.
it is the open to the floor for 5 minutes to talk about anything you want, whether you're educated on it or not. You can sing. We've never had somebody do it before. Okay. Now, the first person who signed in tonight is Tim Chatterton at 1350 Chiota Road. Tim, are you taking the podium? All right. You have to go up there.
All right. Sorry about that, I'm just throwing it so you guys can see a little bit.
One's upside down,
I'll
sir.
do this real quick.
Upside down.
My name, what's that?
Upside down.
sir.
It is?
Yeah.
It's my stupid side. All right. If you're anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Tim Chatterton. I own the rec zone in the Webster Recreation Center. Okay, we asked for our lease to be reinstated and signed, and we're being asked to leave. My question is, does the board even know that this was asked of us? And did you take a vote? Because now, what I've just found out in the last couple of weeks is that the community never knew that we were being asked to leave. And all the parents that we would serve throughout the year, not just summer camp, for example, we make lunches for maybe a quarter to maybe 35% of the kids. That's hot lunches. These parents booked their kids at the community center, and for 5 years, we have made lunches for the kids. Town Webster has decided not to give them breakfast. So me and my fiance put together a program for the kids to have breakfast. Not just cold cereal, eggs, pancakes, French toast, just to name a couple things. This isn't it. This is the lunch that we offer for the kids. Many of the parents take advantage of it. But basically, I'm more upset that the community never knew what was going on. So I would like the decision for us to be removed from the property, to be voted on, and give us more time and have the community know what's going on. I mean, there is, I can say this, since we've been open, there has never been a child that has gone without a lunch. The counselors, the staff know, number one, if a child has no lunch or forgot their lunch, they come up to us, we make whatever they want within reason, and we're not worried about the parents paying us. Not everything's about money, okay? I guess what I'm really trying to tell you is I'm really upset that I got parents calling me that never knew that this is, we're being basically removed. And, you know, we're making, it's not really a money thing for us. We're making about a fifth of what we made 5 years ago. It's not about money. The parents complaining to us and angry is one thing. They expected their kids to have the chance to have a hot lunch. Or for the parents that just ran out the door, totally forgot, and their kid didn't have any money or a chance to get a lunch, we would always give them a lunch. I'm really strong about that, okay? It doesn't mean the person's poor, it just means they ran out the door, maybe they made the lunch and, you know, Beth or Johnny forgot to put it in their knapsack or whatever. Knapsack, backpack. I'm going to try and do this because I only have 5 minutes. I apologize. I'm more emotional about the place. We have a passion. We have made so many friends at the town of Webster. I don't care if people buy stuff or not. Our prices are so low, it's unreal. I just want to know how this decision was made without the board. From the looks on your faces, nobody knows, besides maybe Tom. How did this happen to us in the community? We serve the community so well. I have done everything I can to change our menu, make the prices more than reasonable. I could say this, I didn't even think about this until now. Your lunches for, the elderly. Some of them don't like the lunches. They come down and get a lunch from us. I don't charge them the regular price. I give them a deal. They get a lunch for $3.50. Hey, maybe I don't like tuna fish, or you don't like chicken, or whatever is being served that day. They have the opportunity to come down to us and get a hot meal. We care about the community. We always have. We have adjusted our menu multiple times. At times it's not about price, it's about getting the best thing for everyone.
Tim, this is the worst part of my job. Is telling
I gotta
somebody
go.
they're in 4
I
minutes,
apologize.
45 seconds.
So what I want to say is, I would like you guys to re-enter and vote and let the community know what's going on. We have until, I believe, the 11th supposedly to leave. So would you entertain that? Do you think that's fair enough to us and the community?
Your time is up.
Okay.
And I will just say this, the reason why the board doesn't know is the lease had expired however long ago, and it was a decision to not pursue another lease there with anybody. And that space is being refitted, and buildings are being needed.
Well, because of
Thank you,
COVID.
Tim.
All
I
right,
hate to put it this way, we have a lot of people out there.
all right,
Okay?
I'm sorry.
Next, Jen Fonseca.
First of all, thank you for allowing me to speak. I did not watch that little presentation. I received the information that you were going to vote on this at 11 o'clock last night. I've always trusted my Webster Town Board to make the right decisions for those that we have voted you in to represent your constituents. I was very concerned the minute that I read climate smart community, because all three of those words do not go together, but I gave it a chance. 11 o'clock, I'm on my phone looking it up. And I don't know what's in your presentation, but it is not what I found, and now I've been studying for the last 12, 15, 16 hours of my time when I wasn't working today, looking through the complete website, page by page, task by task, step by step, all the way down. So that, being said that, I just want to give a few examples of what's been going on in New York for those of you in the audience who haven't heard, and some of the wins and some of the losses we've had. We just recently had the approval of our New York State budget. The housing compact, which was a very dangerous bill, did not pass. It was thrown out of our budget. thank God, because that would have taken the power away from our town board in terms of zoning. Number two, what wasn't taken out, on the flip side, was the ban and purchase of gas stove on new construction, as you've all heard. And it's not just gas stove, it's also gas furnaces. That's a loss. This all leads in, both of these bills lead into what we are talking about right now, which is this climate smart community. Those are parts of this program. And I also want to tell you, why are they trying to eliminate the gas stoves and the furnaces? Because without solid research or data, but on the premises of could potentially cause, this is on the New York State website, asthma, heart issues, cancers, or other medical problems. To me, that sounds like a cover-up, but I won't go into that aspect or go off topic about that. Another example, last summer, we saw smart meters and smart thermostats going in. They've been going in for about 15, 20 years around the country. But last summer, we saw in Denver, Colorado, and California, and Texas, where all of a sudden, where they were smart, they were supposed to be a positive thing, all of a sudden, the gas companies, the electric companies took control of these things and took out their air conditioning in the middle of a heat wave without, against their rights. So why do I bring this up? Because tonight, without the input of the community, you were about to pass this resolution. And with this resolution, you were going to take a pledge and register with the New York State DEC, I want to say it is, I don't have it written down. And I want to read what they were planning on doing, because this is about the money. We have many different projects going on right now in our town, and they are very expensive. I listen to Tom every month give out his report at the Republican Committee. If you are a Republican, please come to those committee meetings, very informative. Please join. But it is about the money, because some of these projects he knows he can get or try to get grant money. It all comes down to the money. Those of you who heard me speak at the school board meetings over the last couple of years, that was all about the money too, of what has happened to our country and our community and in our schools. The same thing is taking place. But I want to go and just read the pledge, the CSC pledge. They can change and amend the preamble. So, the town of Webster believes that climate change poses a real and increasing threat to our local and global environments and is primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels. Do we believe that? Does every resident believe in that? In this decision, did you ask the town? Did you take a vote? Do we believe in this? Do we want to proceed with this? I would say we're probably 60-40, maybe 50-50 on this topic in regards to how our town is changing. But I don't think we're quite there yet. Whereas the effects of climate change will endanger our infrastructure, economy, livelihoods, harm our farms, orchards, ecological communities, including native fish and wildlife populations, spread invasive species and exotic diseases, reduce drinking water.
My worst part about this job is letting someone know they're 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
So anyways, we already know this includes pesticides, wind turbines, chemicals, spills, etc. will also damage our environment. So some of the things that we have to, and once you take this pledge,
Jen,
these we
and
cannot.
I know you're an intelligent woman, so I know you will do me the favor between now and May 18th of watching the presentation, right? Then you have to move off the podium. And I might be a very unpopular person tonight, but this will go on until 2 in the morning if I allow everybody to go to 6,
No,
7.
that's perfectly
So
fine.
we need to move on, Jen.
So,
And I would,
Made your
and
point.
with that, you may want to have your stopwatch on your phone going, so you can see when you're at 4:45, so I don't have to be a buzzkill to let everybody know. Next up is Michelle Anderson.
Just read this.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to see you. I appreciate the fact that you've tabled this. What what I don't understand is why wasn't this put before the public to vote on it, since we are the taxpayers, we voted you into office, and this is going to have an enormous impact on this entire community. Every community that has implemented this, and let's call it what it is, it's the Green New Deal, New World Order garbage. Every community that has implemented this has been destroyed. It's been destroyed. It continues to be destroyed. You can call it whatever you want. It's communist. It's New World Order, Klaus Schwab garbage. Do you have them in a closet somewhere? I'm so shocked at this. You are all intelligent people. And to interrupt someone at the podium and tell them they're at 4:25 minutes, that's really disrespectful, and I expect better from you. I expect better from all of you. The taxpayers in this town have no problem supporting projects that are legitimate, that benefit the community. But please don't sit there and try and feed us this garbage. We're smarter than this, and there are more of us than there are of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe U-Haul is next.
We need a timer, red light timer. Thank you for hearing me this evening. Again, my name is Joe U-Haul. I'm a resident here in the town of Webster. I've known Tom for quite a while, and I appreciate the town board bringing this subject up. The first thing I really want to ask is, it's a very nice catchphrase, climate smart community, but I really want to ask you about a couple of years ago. Do you remember a disgraced governor that we lost because he did some things, but what he was really doing was he was pitting one side of the state against the other side of the state. And he was offering money as the incentive for one side of the state or one county to do better than another side of the state or county. I see this as nothing more than that same thing. Now shake the carrot out there, we're going to give you some money. But at the same time, what they're actually doing is, this is ESG.
Yes.
No
Yes,
matter what
thank
want to
you.
call it, it's ESG. If you don't know what ESG is, I'd advise you to look at Cheryl Atkinson, Full Measure. They have a lot of episodes about ESG, and they have a lot of episodes about climate and climate change, specifically in Europe, where they're going in the opposite direction in the United States, because they found out that it's failing. Wind turbines don't work. Electrovoltaic surfaces are life limited, and the only good things might be, and I won't even go into that, but let's get back to what's going on here today. I would very much like to see the presentation that you put together. But I will really ask if everyone, and you're about that age, remembers the book Animal Farm by George Orwell. All pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than other pigs, if you remember that. And that's exactly what this is driving to this state. We'll take our community, and we'll take our community against another community, because our score will have to be better than their score. And if our score isn't better, we won't get the money and someone else will. So, Mary, thank you. I'm going to look at her presentation. I'm really concerned that New York State, the state that I really like, have lived in for well over 50 years, is absolutely going down the wrong path with regard to what is considered climate and environmental issues.
Yes.
Basically, the shadows ESG, which is absolutely, if you read about it and get involved with it, it's a Communist Party way of segregating their people into the haves and those who have none. By taking this step and approving this nice phrase, you're actually taking this step. And I'm going to say it because it's going to be recorded. My wife's got bail money.
That's right.
We're moving toward communism. Folks.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, what this does is, it identifies winners and losers. And I know Webster wants to be a winner. I want to be a winner. But if you're going to pit me against the town of Pittsburgh
That's right.
or someplace in the southern tier, this is the absolute wrong thing to do.
That's right.
It's not making a stronger New York. It's making a more divided New York,
Yep.
a more divided Webster,
Yep.
and you wonder why people are moving to Florida.
Right. Yeah. Nice job.
Next
Well
up
done.
is Rebecca
Picked up my-
Bennett.
That'd be
Next round.
passing. Pass. Pass.
Yes. It should pass.
Oh, okay. Senior.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I've heard a lot of good speakers tonight, but
Sing it.
sing it.
We're not gonna get a minute or two of singing?
We'll leave it to Holy Trinity.
Can I have a minute? I have one question.
Right.
I'm sorry. Can I have your minute?
Yeah.
Does Webster have a sister city in Europe?
Used to. Used to be Würzburg.
It used to be where?
Würzburg, Germany.
Germany. I would strongly recommend, if it's Würzburg, Germany, because Germany is a country that is absolutely going in the opposite direction with regard to climate change, because they found that it's not working, that we reinitiate that, make ties again with them, and find out what's actually truly going on in the world with regard to climate and the environment.
Well, and next up, the Honorable Ron Nesbitt, past supervisor in town. Got some tough acts to follow tonight, Ron.
Yeah, I think I can match it, though. I think I can match it.
Good for you.
I decided to attend tonight's meeting to inform the 46,000 Webster residents of some of the shortcomings coming from Nikos and Weems' operation on Jackson Road, and I am educated on that topic. On April 13th, Weems ambulance showed up across from my home for a call from a neighbor. 3 ladies arrived in the Weems ambulance and took the gurney to the house. 15 minutes later, Penfield ambulance arrived and attended to the patient, and Weems ambulance left the scene. When I asked why the Weems ambulance didn't attend to the patient, Penfield ambulance told me Weems had no paramedic to attend to the patient. Is that the type of service this town board wants for our residents, I asked? It's not what I expected when I obtained the CON for the town of Webster. A few days later, after this town of Webster had an overdose on the west side of town, Weems again arrived on the scene, but again had to wait until a Rutherford ambulance showed up with a paramedic to attend to the patient. Again, is this the type of service that the town board wants for its residents? Because I'm sure West Webster Fire District could have done a better job on the west side of town if this town board permitted them to do so with Penfield ambulance. Now, on April 25th, the New York State Department of Health removed 2 Weems ambulances from the road because of rust on the vehicles, doors that won't lock, outdated equipment, and outdated medicine. Is this the best we can do, Webster Town Board, for our residents? I again filed a FOIA request for all financial and data calls from Weems from 2022 to 2023. Again, I was denied the right to look at these documents by the town of Webster. I then became aware of a confidentiality disclosure agreement with Nikos, so I foiled that. I was absolutely amazed to find out that Supervisor Flaherty had signed this confidentiality agreement on November 8th, 2022, with his signature and the CEO of Nikos as the only signatures on this document. I also found out there was no public resolution of this document at any town board meeting, and the other 4 members of this town board did not vote to authorize the supervisor to sign this agreement at any town board meeting. So behind the backs of this hometown board and the residents of Webster, why did Supervisor Flaherty sign an agreement that doesn't allow the 46,000 Webster residents the opportunity to foil any records for a period of 3 years? That's right. In the agreement, it states no disclosure of agreements from NECOs for 3 years. Why, Supervisor Flaherty, I ask? What are you hiding? Why can't Webster residents be rightfully informed about the shortcomings of this agency that we, the taxpayers, provide funds for? Over $255,000 of our taxpayer dollars just last year. I'm sure you won't answer me tonight, Supervisor Flaherty, to why, because you'd like to do that at a workshop where you control the narrative. This isn't the first time either that Supervisor Flaherty has signed agreements without town board authorization. I have proof if you'd like it. And I find that to be very alarming and should be to all Webster residents, that Supervisor Flaherty is doing agreements behind the backs of Webster residents and without authorization from the town board. I close on that. I'm just quickly, before my 5 minutes is up. I did watch The Climate last week. I did not find it enthusing. What I found was, Mr. Flaherty, you're doing this to get grant money.
That's right.
To cover the $80 million in bonds that you've authorized in the last 2 years. It's going to cost the taxpayers of this town $300 a year on their taxes for the next 30 years. That's why you're going after this climate.
That's right.
In closing, on another topic, I would like to thank Councilman Adams, Councilman Kay, Finance Director Paul Adams, Attorney Tony, Town Attorney Janice, for carrying on the long-term tradition of dressing professionally for the Town of Webster's business meetings on the first and third Thursday nights. It's greatly appreciated.
Okay, next up is Brenda Lincoln.
PTSD seasoned veterans, it sounds like there's been some people who have maybe talked before. I am not that person. But I have seen the information on the resolution that they're proposing to try to pass. Watched a number of the town board meetings online, so you might not recognize my face, but on occasion I do jump in and try to see what's going on in town. A couple of things jump out from the resolution in general, that smart climate sounds like just a phrase. It sounds like just something that you say that would be logical. Why wouldn't everybody want smart climate? But it's not. It's actually a product. It's like saying this is the best deal on the planet, but that's what it's called. That's not what it is.
That's right.
That's what we're talking about. And it's not free money. It doesn't, you don't just sign the resolution. It's kind of like, my kids like to play those games online. When they go to bed at night, they've done so many things, and when they wake up in the morning, they get credit. They open it up and they look at the game again. And then the next day, they've got 2 days worth of credit. And it builds, and that's part of, it's kind of like a game theory thing, right? The more days you have built up, the less you want to not miss that day. So it builds and builds. That's how this whole program is laid out. If you look at it, if you watch the presentation again, and I give Mary credit, it's not easy to be, a grant writer or a researcher. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into it. I've done that. I understand what's involved in all of that. But if you go back and you look at what they're saying, it's, you just do this. It's easy. There's no commitment. It's free. There's nothing. You're just passing a little simple resolution. there's no commitment, you can back out of it whenever you want.
Yep.
Kind of starts to sound like a used car commercial. And then after that, you get points, it's just, you can pick whichever one you want, you don't have to do all of them. You pick the one that you want that gives you the points, because you are already gonna do something about composting anyway. And on, there's more points to get more money, to get a badge, to compete with your neighboring towns.
Yep.
And it builds, and it builds, and it's very attractive, because you guys are here probably all for the right reasons. I bet you all go home to your families, and you love them, and you want them to have a future, and you want to do the right thing. But the reality is, it's not free.
That's
You're
right.
signing a commitment, just like when you make a promise to somebody. You know, it might not be legally obligated, but if you're a good, decent person, then your hope is that you're going to fulfill that obligation. You're going to carry out that promise and do the thing. The resolution is just the start. You sign it, maybe it doesn't commit you to any money or any particular actions, but it's starting to build that thought process that Webster is going to be this, smart climate product, not an actual good steward of our environment, taking care of our land and our town and our people that are here. That's what I want you to do. I've heard Supervisor Clarity, when you finished the budget meeting, you said that you thought that the number one reason that you guys were here was to be a good steward of our money and work hard for our money. That free money that's coming from the grant, that's my money too.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
the money that you're putting up for the town, because it's not 100%. A grant is not just free money to go do what you want. They put up 50% and you put up 50%. And in addition to the fact that it's not free money, when it gets to that point, it's a reimbursement thing. So first, we put up 100%. And then, if you did everything that they told you to do, you checked all the boxes, and you agreed to all their requirements, and you provided all of the information, oh yeah, that's another part, because right now, as a town, you control a certain amount of our information, our resources, our inventories of what we have, and what we will have in the future. When you sign up for this program, you also commit to send that information to the county, to the state, to be compiled, to be used as a more global resource of information, or global resource of resources, right? So what we need to do is focus on Webster. You are a town board. You have town members that are showed up to show that they care about this and they don't think that this is the right direction to go. It's not to say that we don't want you to do projects, that we don't need, better drainage or sewer treatment plants. This isn't the way to go. You are smart people. We have good financial people on the board. We have smart business people on the board. I believe that you guys have the ability to use our money wisely, to not try to put us in debt for the rest of our lives in the future. We're not about being a revenue-generating corporation. I'm sure you've read that somewhere, right? I see it all the time, right? It comes up, yes, I want more money, because if we make revenue, then you'll be better off as a taxpayer. No, how about this? If I give you a certain amount of money to take care of the town, use that money to take care of the town. If you have a bigger project, plan for the project and save. That's what I do. I try not to live my life in debt. I don't care what my credit score is because I don't want to have to use credit. I want
Amen.
to get out cash, pay for my
You got
thing,
it.
I want to own my house, I want to own my car. That's the goal.
That's all right.
I really think that this is something that you should vote no for, not even continue to consider. I don't think it's a good thing for us to continue to sign up to be
Not
committed
even
to
take a
somebody else.
pledge.
This is about Webster. We're here for Webster,
Yeah.
and I want you to stand for Webster when you vote for this.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
There's one more person listed tonight, but before I do that, because often, once we get past this, I see this mass exodus. Nobody wants to sit around for the normal resolutions, just like watching grass grow. This is the sign up for getting the link to what happened last week, and I also have something on there about, in the future, if you would like to get alerts sent to you for town board agendas. Jen Fonseca, when you said, I found out about this at 11 a.m. today. I hate hearing that. I want this community to know about the town board agendas 8+ days in advance. We've made a real commitment to that in how we put our agendas in the Webster Herald and get them on the website. And we really try to promote, sign up for these alerts and they come to you and there's the town board agenda. It takes you 2 minutes to read. If there's something that's interesting to you, whether you like it or you hate it, you can plan to come to that meeting. So I hope I see a bunch of Ys for yes.
I put a check.
What the? You don't follow directions.
No, I did it before you did the directions.
Well, down at the bottom it says, yes, sir.
You're gonna send this to us, this link?
Yes, I am. Yeah? Or Mary's gonna. One of us is gonna send an email out with the link. It's gonna, if you hit the link in the email, you guys, I hope you know how it works. It'll go right to the presentation and the PowerPoint presentation from last Thursday night that Mary put together. I might need to get Karen Buck to help us with the technical.
Is that on the town site? Is that already on the town site?
Oh, it is, but we're gonna make it simple for you. All right? You can go to the town site, we're gonna send it right out to you, but also put your name down there, that way we know how to exactly coach you on setting up for the alerts. I can't stress enough, those alerts, and Karen, I mean, since a couple of years ago, have the alerts gone up 500% in registrants?
Yes.
Yeah?
We'll send you an email tomorrow with all of the.
An informed community is a better community. There's only one thing that's been said here tonight. I mean, it's not the best self-esteem building night of my life, to be honest, with what I've heard here. But Jen, the one thing that really hurt for me was when you said, I found out about this at 11 o'clock today. That's fingernails on a chalkboard to me. Because I don't want citizens finding out about stuff at 11 o'clock the day it happens. When we have all these things that we can give you alerts and you know exactly what we're going to have on the agenda. I want you all to know that and get those alerts so in the future you can be here and not come in at 11 o'clock. Thanks. Now the last speaker tonight, now I think it's a relative of his. Rebecca said no. Carl. David? All right. David Bencar. I'm assuming, David, are you 684 Hightower also?
Correct. So this is from New York State, the Office of Climate Change. So if we were to accept this pledge, they have a little, they have some stuff that they want the town to adopt. So they have a little preamble, a little resolution, and the first line that they would like the town to adopt would read something like this. Webster believes that climate change possesses a real and increasing threat to our local and global community, global environments, and is primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels. And then it just goes on, there's a whole paragraph that they want you to adopt, but 10 bullet points that the town would have to adopt without changing them would read like this. Build a climate smart community. Inventory, number 2, inventory emissions, set goals, and plan for climate action. Number 3, decrease energy use. Number 4, shift to clean, renewable energy. Number 5, use climate smart material management. Number 6, implement climate smart land use. Number 7, enhance community resilience to climate change. 8, support green innovation economy. 9, inform and inspire the public. 10, engage in evolving process of climate action. And so these are kind of general, but who's deciding what these are? And, you know, as a Webster resident, you know, I don't believe in any of this. And I know a lot of other people don't. So I don't want you to just table this thing, but I just want you to say no, that we don't want the CSC pledge, we don't want to be part of this.
That's right.
You know, because I believe, you know, that there's plenty of gas and oil for the United States for 600 years. It's a documented fact that all that is there, and so part of their preamble is that it's going to save money. Well, to throw out everything gas in Webster is not going to save anybody money. So let's not be a part of this as a town of Webster. Let's not even start going down this avenue. Thank you.
the supervisor's statement regarding signing up for the notifications. I signed up about a year ago, and I'll get 2 or 3 a day. And it really keeps you up to date as to the workshops, when the planning boards are, the agendas. It's a very, very good tool. So please consider doing that.
Okay, I love Councilman Kale, but you might have just scared the heck out of these people. Because if I'm getting 2 to 3 a day, that sounds like something I want nothing. It's an a la carte menu.
Right.
If you want just the town board, these meetings agendas, not the planning boards, or the zoning boards, or the conservation boards, or I'm getting bored, you can sign up for literally 25 different things going on in town. And if you're into that, great, but it also can be like, oh my God, I don't want 2 or 3 alerts. You're part of the government,
Right.
yes, we want those 2 or 3 alerts. If I'm a citizen, you might, so please don't be scared off on that. I'm just saying you want the alerts for the town board agendas, which there are 2 meetings a month. First and third Thursday is the meetings where we dress nicely. Some of us do. And then the second and fourth meeting of the month is when we do workshops to discuss things and show presentations and whatever. So really you're talking about 4 a month at the most, because sometimes the workshops will cancel. Those are palatable, I think, so you don't get steamrolled with 2 or 3 a day. So just wanted to add that in there. Now, and it also bought some time before everybody makes the mass exodus, because I really want everybody to sign that sheet so we can get that out to you. And I also, Karen, everybody already showed that they didn't watch it last week, and I get it. I'm also going to see if we can get you the May 12th, 2022 presentation, and then also potentially the June 16th presentation. Knowledge is power. Get educated. It takes you right through the 3 main workshops, town board meetings in the last 10 months on this topic. You might have the same exact opinions that you had tonight, but you may not. And it's not a lot of time to invest. We're very passionate tonight. I appreciate that. I really do. And I hope you use that passion to maybe take half an hour time to see what we've done in this previous as a town board. So, and now for the exciting stuff. We have 3 town board minutes up for approval. I reviewed them. I make a motion that we approve the April 13, 2023 workshop, which was a presentation of 600 Ridge Road, the Furniture Strippers Phase 2 Environmental Studies report by Mary Harrington at Spry Middle School. Did anybody know that that went on? It's out in the crowd?
You know why?
Wouldn't you have been interested in knowing about that? 600 Ridge Road? The furniture strippers? Everybody thinks it's a nuclear waste dump? We moved the venue from here to Spry. Thought we'd get 200 people. Promoted it everywhere, like a Barnum and Bailey circus. How many people showed up?
18.
18. Now, the good news is 1,400 people have watched the video of that 40 minutes on our website. So I take that as a victory. They may not have showed up that night in person, but the 40 minutes presentation to get educated on what's going on in West Webster at 600 Ridge Road, which is a hot topic for people. That property is sat rotting for 20 years, and we are really trying to get something done on that. So we thought the community would be very interested in the results of the Phase 2 environmental studies. I went over those minutes. I make a motion that we approve them.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman McNulty? Aye. Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wood? Aye.
I won't give as much melodrama to the next 2.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jen.
I reviewed the April 20th meet for town board minutes, found them to be accurate, and I would move that we approve them.
Second.
Aye. Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wood? Aye. Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye. And depending The board is going to vote on these minutes, whether the community, after they watch the presentation this week, approve of the April 27th workshop, or if that remains to be seen. I make a motion that we approve the April 27th, 2023 town board workshop minutes.
Second.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Paul, you have a six-pack right in a row here, don't you? You want to just explain everything really, well, first of all,
I'll go first, because I did review the bills yesterday, and would make a motion that we approve those.
Aye.
aye, and I went over the prepaid warrants as submitted by Paul as Director of Finance, and make a motion to approve those.
Second.
Aye?
Aye.
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 And I also went over the purchase orders, purchase orders as submitted by Paul, Adams, Director of Finance, and make a motion to approve those. Aye?
Aye.
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 Okay, the next three, Paul, I think these are all posted to our website 48 hours before these meetings, so if you're really interested in, we have supporting documents of these board meetings up on the website when you get the alert, so you can go and kind of research things before we even get into the meeting. I've looked at them, they're in the files. Does anybody on the board have questions on the transfers in the event for 22 or event for 23?
No.
I make a motion to approve the 2023 budget transfers as presented by Paul Adams, Director of Finance.
Second.
Aye?
Aye.
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 I make a motion to approve the 2022 budget amendment as presented by Paul Adams, the Director of Finance.
Second.
Aye?
Aye.
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 And I make a motion to approve the 2023 budget amendment as presented by the Director of Finance, Paul Adams.
Second.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Mary?
Yeah, so going along with the theme of tabling,
Yeah.
we don't have all of our documents together for this, with the applicant, so we table the 550 Drum Road fill permit to another meeting.
Fair enough.
I move that we table the fill permit for 550 Brown Road.
Second.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Are you gonna make it a trifecta tonight?
Yes, we are.
John, Mary, any?
Yes, so we did receive bids at the end of last week for refinishing the courthouse, where we've been doing our projects to insulate and make it protected against ice damming and water damage. We sat down with the contractor yesterday in hopes to just nail down a few discrepancies we had with their bid and our idea of how to complete the job. And the person we sat down with couldn't answer all of our questions, so we're gonna sit down with their supervisor next week to just make sure that we have a clear understanding of the contract terms before the town board votes on it.
And I will say that I think a lot of you said this for the first time you're maybe here tonight. We usually don't have open walls with no drywall on them. We had some major leaks. Fixed those, had to tear it open. Now we're at the final stage of putting the drywall, painting up. Fred Jack Gale was in that business. I think you choked the goat when you saw what the bids were.
If you only saw two, we should have seen the third.
I don't want it. I don't want it. It's the world we live in. But like you said, we gotta watch the money.
So I would move that we table the resolution to award the Webster Courthouse drywall and finish the project.
Second.
Aye.
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 Aye. Paul, is this you?
I can,
Yeah.
Parks and Rec is the project that's within the 2023 budget. is actually being financed by a $100,000 transfer from Parkland Trust Fund. I think the entire project is actually going to cost a little more than that. We'll work that out within the budget.
2 months ago, Chris Bilo came in, did a workshop presentation, showed the whole project. I remember. Anybody got any questions on this? No.
So I would move that we authorize to award and authorize the supervisor to sign the fencing contract for the First Responders Park Tennis Pickleball Renovation Project in the amount of $31,600 to ACIA Construction LLC.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 10, we've already tabled. Oh, and Art's not here tonight, but we know what this is.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago. With Woodard, the Woodard district.
We did. Yeah, I know it's been a long meeting. We voted on that 40 minutes ago before we tabled it. I won't, what those people are dealing with on Linden Lane is terrible.
It is.
Yeah, we've visited this before, but we ran into several roadblocks with the state on it. So we have brought it back to the residents. They're still interested in pursuing it and want us to move forward because they're doing their laundry at the laundromat and all kinds of other things because their septic systems are failing. It just wants sewers.
Yeah, we tried this about a year ago and couldn't get it through the states. Now we're going at it again. But of course, the costs are now much higher. That puts the citizens in an even worse position.
And the state's regulations on what they feel this should cost are ridiculously low to begin with.
Correct. You can't exceed $694 per year per residence.
It hasn't been
Last year was $706. They reduced it $12 even though we're in record inflation.
The state hasn't amended that price in 25 years.
They're reducing it the last
Yeah,
year.
right, they pointed out.
So we're going to try again.
I make a motion calling for a public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 1st, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. in the town boardroom to consider an addition to the consolidated sanitary sewer district, specifically the Linden Lane extension, with notice of said public hearing published in the Wednesday, May 17th, 2023 Webster Herald edition.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Catali?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Well, Art's not here, but yeah, anything 27 years old, I take it nobody has any questions on this transfer from the sewer department to the Parks and Rec department?
You know, just that it's 27 years old, but we're still finding a way to use it.
Yes. Make a motion to declare the following item as a transfer from the sewer department to the Parks and Rec department, 1996 Ford backhoe, tag number 03929.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilwoman Catali?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Dolly.
The first printer was purchased in 2010, the second printer was purchased in 2011.
2000?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Any questions? I didn't think so. I make a motion to declare the following items for recycling. In the town clerk's office, a Xerox Spacer printer copier tag number 3221, NHP printer tag number 3286.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn? Aye. Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Catali?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
And Charlie, you want to just give a brief on this
Well,
one that we
yeah,
did?
this is a, we're renewing the lease, and with the Webster, looking for a dog catcher.
Yeah.
The Webster Volunteer Fire Department for that strip of land between former, well, Ebner Drive, former Ridgecrest area, over to the field, which is owned by Webster Volunteer Fire Department. The we've been using it for various purposes for the last 15 years. We've had renewed agreements which operate and are renewed every 5 years. And the latest one, the last one, by terms of the prior lease agreement, ends this coming week. So we are entering into a new lease agreement. I did personally talk to the president of the department, and he is in agreement that we should continue.
Bobby and Son were $0.
Correct. No cost to anybody.
Yeah. Any questions on this? I'll make a motion to approve a lease extension, actually.
No, we'll call it a lease agreement. It's a new one, brand new.
Oh, I can't make that motion.
You have to sign it. So I would make a motion to approve a lease extension or a new lease between Webster Volunteer Fire Department, Inc., landlord, and the town of Webster, the tenant, on a section of Ebner Drive, and authorize the town supervisor to sign said lease.
Second.
Councilwoman DeKalb?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Supervisor Larry?
Aye. Well, gang, that completes the formal agenda tonight. A lot more than a garbage for tonight. How's my sign-in sheet doing? All right. For the people that have never been to a board meeting before, you're getting it all tonight, because I'm going to make a motion to go into executive session under section 105, subsection, jeepers, Charlie, I would say this is contract negotiation, would it
Is it a civil service contract negotiation?
No.
This is,
be? It could be,
no, then this is, if this is to enter into discuss contractual
yeah.
agreement with a company, corporation, or person, this would be one.
It is 1F, yeah, okay. So that's my motion to go into executive session. I'd like to invite the town attorney and the town finance director along with the town board members.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. That, my friends, concludes, or at least, public. And I haven't seen the sign. How about a change your check? Wow.
How's it going, John?
Good. How you been?
Nice. As soon as you said they get 2 to 3 a day, I figured all you would end.
Hopefully it stops raining so I can
Yeah.
mow my lawn.
Tell me about it. Man, I tell you, what a long time.
Yeah.
How's it looking? That's not too bad. We got that thing